Hi, and welcome back to this week's movement lesson. Miss Kelsey here. This week we are recapping what we talked about with the weather people, how they use gestures and movements to tell you what's going on with the weather. But we're taking it a little further and we're looking at patterns in nature and how they use those patterns to make weather predictions. But first, let's get started with our warm-up. For our warm-up, I say, hello, class, and you say, hello, Miss Kelsey. Let's try. Hello, class. Hello, class. Very good. Now I'm going to do a move, and then you're going to repeat it back to me. My turn. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Great. We're going to continue this warm-up with our shape making. Remember, we make 3 different shapes at 3 different levels. And those levels are high, middle, and low. When I'm making a high shape, that means I'm up tall. I'm making a big, tall shape. Let's go ahead and make a high shape. Great. Next, we're going to make a middle shape. So that's a little lower, but not all the way down. Somewhere in the middle, like this. Very nice. And then last we have our low shape. This is all the way down, probably on the floor. Like this. This is my low shape today. High shape. Middle shape. Low shape. But we also had transitions between our shapes. Transitions is how you get from one shape to the next shape. First, we're going to use non-locomotor movement for those transitions. And that means things like wiggling or spinning, melting. You know, non-locomotor movements. Here we go. High shape. And then I'm going to spin, middle shape, and then I'm going to melt to a low shape. Stand tall. We're going to try again. This time I want you to really try to make your own shapes and non-locomotor movements. I'll be moving so you can follow me or you can think of your own. Here we go. High shape. Non-locomotor movement. Middle shape. Non-locomotor movement. Low shape. Stand tall. Great shape making. Now let's try it with locomotor movements as the transitions. So instead of staying in one place, I'm using locomotor movement to move somewhere else. Now, am I moving all the way across the room? No, don't do that. Am I running into my friend next to me? No, please don't do that. If I look around, and I can move my arms from where I'm standing, this is the space you have to move. Right around your desk. Like that much. Let's try. First, we'll make a high shape. Then I'm going to slide and make a middle shape. Then I'm going to tiptoe to my low shape. stand tall. We're going to try it again and again. This time you can follow me, but I want to challenge you to think of your own shapes and your own locomotor movements. Here we go. High shape. Then I'm going to march to my middle shape. Then I'm going to creep to my low shape. Stand tall. Great. We're continuing on with our warm-up to get extra toasty today, and we're going to test out some patterns. We've been talking about patterns with our friend Miss Sasha, so I really wanted to dive in this warm-up and keep that going. Let's try it. I'm going to clap twice, and then I'm going to bend my knees like this one time. That's an A-A-B pattern. Here we go. A-A-B, 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 A-A-B. Keep it going. A-A-B, A-A-B, A-A-B. Great. Let's try another one. I'm going to do left arm, right arm, wiggle, clap. 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 One more time. Wiggle, just kidding. 1, 2, a wiggle and a clap. Whew, that was a great one. Let's try one more. What do you think? Great. I'm doing shoulders, hip, hip, knees. Shoulders, hip, hip, knees. Shoulders, hip, hip, knees. Shoulders, hip, hip, knees. Great pattern. Next, we're going to add in some non-locomotor movements. So my first pattern goes like this. Melt, spin, jump. Melt, spin, jump. You try. Spin, jump. Melt, spin. One more time. Melt, spin, and jump. Let's try some different non-locomotor movements. My personal favorite is sway. Let's practice. Sway like this. You could sway your arms like this, but I'm just swaying my upper body. So just my upper body's moving. And I'm going to sway 4 times. How many times? 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to wiggle, jump, wiggle, jump. I know that one's a little tough. I'll slow it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, wiggle, jump. Wiggle, jump. Can we try it a little faster? 1, 2, oh, just kidding. Medium speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle, jump, wiggle, jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle, jump, wiggle, jump. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, wiggle, jump, wiggle, jump. Great, we have one more pattern with non-locomotor movement. What do you think? Great, let's do straight, bend. You try. Straighten everything, and then bend it. And then I'm going to grow. And then I go out. Straight. Bend. Grow. Straight. Bend. grow. How'd it go? Great. And for our last pattern warm-up, locomotor movement. The most exciting. So we're just going to take these patterns, but we're going to move them in the space. And I'm going to add some shapes to this just to make it easier. The first one is a triangle. How many sides does a triangle have? 7. Oh, 3? You're right. A triangle has 3 sides. So I'm going to be moving in a triangle. And I need 3 locomotor movements. The first one will be walking, sliding, then hopping. Walking, sliding, hopping. Here we go. I'm going to walk one side of the triangle. Then I'm going to slide one side. And then I'm going to hop back to where I started. Let's do it again. Walk, slide, then hop. Let's try it again. Walk, slide, then hop. Great. The next shape we're going to move through is a square. So I need 4 locomotor movements. What do you think? I say tiptoe, march, run. What's the last one? Tiptoe, run, march, skip. Skip will be the last one. It's going to be tough. Let's say it again. Tiptoe, run, march, skip. Tiptoe, run, march, skip. And I'm going to do that in the shape of a square. Here we go. I'm going to scoot over like this. Tiptoe, run, march, skip. Let's try again. Tiptoe, run, march, and skip. Last time. Tiptoe, run, march, and skip. So we're talking about patterns that you can see here looking at me, and we're moving in these patterns. But I want to talk more about patterns that you see in other places. For example, the honeycomb for bees, or feathers on a bird. All of those are patterns that we find in nature. But there are also events that happen in patterns in nature. For example, the water comes out of the clouds, it lands in the ground, the plants drink it, and then the sun soaks it up again. That's the water cycle, but it's a pattern. It starts at the top, comes down, either goes into the ground or in a river, in an ocean, and then the sun drinks it back up. It's a pattern. So let's move this pattern. First, it's in the clouds, so I'm going to make this kind of cloudy shape. This is my cloudy shape. And it's a mad cloud because it's getting ready to rain. Show me your mad cloud. And then it rains. Maybe it's just a little bit of rain. But over here in Kelsey land, it rains a lot because we had a mad cloud. Mad cloud. Rain. And then I'm going to move a little bit to the river where the sun soaks that water back up. It evaporates like this. This is what evaporation looks like. And then it goes back into the clouds, and then the cloud gets mad, and there's rain all the way down. And then the water moves, and then it evaporates. Can we move through it with no sound? Another pattern or cycle that you see in nature is plants growing and dying. They all start the same, like a seed in the dirt, and they grow if they have rain and sunshine, and eventually they die. So they kind of melt or wither away, and then new plants come. They grow and get strong, and then they get old, or maybe they don't have water or sun, and they die. So let's look at that with movement, how this pattern goes. So when they're new plants, they're probably really big. No, they start off way down here. They're very small, a tiny seed, like this. And then they get water and sunshine, and they grow. And they're reaching for the sunshine. And when they're thriving, maybe they sway with the breeze. But when it's cold or dry, they get sad. And they start to wither and melt. Maybe they fall over. Then they keep going, and eventually they make it to the ground where they decompose into the soil. But then there are new seeds that grow and reach for the sun and sway in the breeze until it's cold and rainy, and they fall over all the way into the ground, and they decompose until a seed. No sound. And our last pattern of events in nature or weather is the 4 seasons. It happens every year. Summer, fall, winter, spring. Summer, fall, winter, spring. Summer, fall, winter, spring. It's a pattern, and it keeps happening over and over. And those 4 seasons have very distinct characteristics. If it's very cold outside, is it summertime? In Louisiana, probably not. If it's winter and it's very cold outside, you know that it's probably winter time. So we're going to go through each season very quickly, come up with some moves, and we'll put it together in that pattern. We're going to start with summertime, where it's very hot, like this. And the sun is shining on me like this. Hot. Sunshine. Hot. Sunshine. Hot. sunshine. This is summer. Next we have fall, and I like to think of the leaves in the fall and the wind, and there's leaves flying everywhere. So this is what this looks like to me. Leaves, leaves, leaves. And I'm just moving my hands around like there's leaves being blown around. This is fall, friends. Very nice. And next there's winter time. What do you think of when you think of winter time? I'm thinking snow. So let us ice skate. No, don't do that. Just 4 ice skates like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what winter looks like to me. Next we have spring, and of course I think about the rain and the flowers. Let's bring back the rain, friends. And the flowers, and the rain, and the flowers. Rain, flowers, springtime. Let's move through it again. Hot, sunshine, hot, sunshine, hot, sunshine. In the fall, with our leaves. In the winter, with our ice skates. And in the spring, rain and flowers. Rain and flowers. Rain and flowers. Great. Can we move through that one with no sound? Here we go. Now, the weather people use these nature patterns to make their predictions. So while it may seem that they don't have a lot of information and they're kind of just guessing, that is true, but they're using all of these patterns to make an educated guess. They might still be wrong, but they're looking at all of this data of patterns that have happened over time, over years, over decades, and they put all that together and say, I think it's going to rain on Tuesday. And so you wait inside for the rain to come, and it doesn't. Maybe it's raining just a little bit over there, but he was close, right? They try. Let's pretend that the weather person made a prediction that it's going to be beautiful outside, and so you and your friends are like, yes, we will take the ship and go on an adventure at sea. So you're on the ship. Everything is fine, the weather's great. Maybe the boat is rocking just a little, like this. Maybe the boat is rocking a little like this. But then you see a mad cloud bringing some rain. This is not good. But the prediction said it was supposed to be a clear, beautiful day, and now we are lost at sea. The wind is coming. The rain is wild, and we're on the boat, and it's rocking like this. Maybe I'm being blown this way and blown this way. More wind, more rain. Whew. This is just one example of how we use weather predictions, but sometimes they can be wrong. Now that person made their best guess to try to figure out what would happen, but in this case, it was not correct. And we now are lost at sea. So let's look at this movement with less words and more things that we've learned about, like locomotor movement, walking side to side, non-locomotor movement like wiggling. You'll see all of that happen as we act out being lost at sea with this thunderstorm rolling in. Stand tall. Here we go. So today we looked at patterns, and then in a bigger picture, where you see those patterns in nature, how whole weather events can create these patterns that we see over and over that weather people use to make predictions about what will happen. Even though they're not always right, they try their best. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. 2 more times. One more time. Cross your arms. Show your teacher you are ready to listen.